Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of our Healthy Living Live. I am Chef Gary with the YMCA of Central Florida. We usually have another guest with us in the kitchen, but you know what? Tonight, it's just going to be you and I together cooking a very simple, easy, enjoyable meal. This can be a snack. This can be a dinner. It can be a lunch. It can be all kinds of things for you. So what we're doing tonight is we're doing flatbreads. Simple, easy to make, few ingredients. We got flour, water. We're going to pop that recipe up for you, by the way. We got flour, water, olive oil. We're going to top it tonight with some strawberries and blueberries, maybe a little fresh mint and goat cheese. You can make this as savory as you want. If you want to do a savory one, maybe with some arugula or spinach and some freshly grilled salmon, something like that. We're going to add some peaches into this as well. We'll grill them up. You don't have to grill them if you don't want to. It's warm out there. This is a great recipe for a hot, warm day. Kids are in the pool. Don't forget, Monday was National Drowning Prevention Day. And don't forget, at the YMCA of Central Florida, we have tons and tons of swim lessons available at all of our YMCAs across Central Florida. So check out our website at ymcacf.org, and you can find out information about swim lessons for your kids. But let's get back to the cooking. So, like I said, really, really simple today. Flour. We have a cup of flour. We have a third of a cup of water. And we are going to add to that third of a cup of water a third of a cup of olive oil. If you don't have a measuring cup that has a 2/3 measure on it, just do a third and a third. You can put it all in the same cup. You don't have to mix it you don't have to rinse your cup out afterwards. They're both going into the same place. So we have a third of a cup of olive oil, third of a cup of water.
And what does the olive oil do?
The olive oil is just going to help make the dough really pliable, and it'll help to hold it together with the water. And it's also going to be what we're going to use instead of oil in our pan. The dough is going to be oily enough for us to be able to cook the dough without adding any extra oil or butter.
Yeah, for healthy oil.
Part healthy oil. We're using olive oil. So just pour that in. You can make a little hole in the pan in there if you want, like you would if you were making pasta. I don't know, a little bit of salt, maybe a quarter teaspoon of salt in there. And I'm just going to take a whisk and I'm going to start putting that all together and mixing it together like that. Now, once you see this come together, just like that, it's starting to come together, you are going to want to turn it out onto a cutting board. I'm going to put this to the side because I already made one, but you're going to want to turn it out onto a cutting board. I'm using a silk pad here. You could use a cutting board. You can use a marble top table. You can use whatever you want. Parchment paper would work. I already made one earlier tonight, just because you really have to knead this together for about 5 minutes. And you want it to look like this, kind of nice and silky and smooth.
Can you show us kind of what kneading means?
Yeah.
It's a little overwhelming to people.
Yeah, so if you've ever gone to a pizza restaurant, my father-in-law used to own pizza restaurants. If you go to a pizza restaurant, you'll see them kneading the dough, and it's kind of just turning the dough onto itself and rolling it together using your hand. This is great for your kids to do, by the way.
No special technique.
No technique needed. Just let the kids do this, and you want to do this for about 5 minutes. It's going to develop a little bit of the gluten, and at the end, you're going to get this nice round little ball. And you can make this a couple hours ahead of time if you want to. Nice and shiny.
It doesn't need to rise.
This does not need to rise. There's no baking powder, no baking soda in here. So no yeast. So this does not need to rise. The very, very simple dough. That's a flatbread because there's no yeast or anything in it for it to rise, right?
That's the flat.
So I am going to take this this dough, and I'm going to cut it into quarters. So that's what you want to do. You want to cut this into quarters. So we have a half, and then we have another quarter.
Okay.
And of course, you want to do this. Don't let your kids do this unless they're older, of course, unless they're skilled with a knife. And we're going to move these other 3 pieces away. And I'm just going to take this. Do we have anybody online saying hello?
We certainly do. We have the Brown family saying hello.
Oh, welcome to the Brown family. I'm going to roll this out. We're going to roll this out a little thin. Because again, right, it's a flatbread, so
Yeah.
we're kind of on the thin side.
Yeah, and what do you use if you don't have a rolling pin?
You could use any round bottle. You could use a bottle of olive oil. You could use anything that's round that you have in the kitchen. You could use
So it could be wood, it could be glass.
right, and you know what? If you don't have it, you can plop this right into the pan, and you can kind of like press it in and make it. But so you know,
Artisan style.
this is artisan style, and we're going to put it into an 8 to 10 inch round pan. So it's going to be end up being round anyway. I'm going to get the flame on this. I did not get that started before we got started here, but I'm going to get the flame on that. And I'm also going to get a flame on a grill pan, because one of the things that we're going to do, I'm just going to move this back here so we're ready for it. One of the other things we're going to do now, you don't have to do this. If you don't have a grill pan or you don't want to grill your fruit, you don't have to. But we have these lovely, lovely peaches. And I'm going to take these peaches and I'm just going to kind of cut them around the middle here.
Oh, you can see how juicy they are.
They're nice and juicy. And I'm just going to twist them apart like that. And I'm going to grill them just like that. These pits, sometimes they're hard to get out. Sometimes they're not. Do we have any questions while we're doing it? That came out pretty.
Hello, we've got the Boynton Beach contingent who's joined us. So hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome.
We've got some folks up in Ocala who's joined us.
Oh, hello from Marion County.
So we do have a question.
Go ahead.
Whether we can do this gluten-free or not.
Yes, we can definitely do this gluten-free. I would suggest using the gluten-free 1-for-1 flour on this. You could probably do a whole wheat, an almond flour or something like that, an oat flour even, any of those. But since there's nothing really in this, there's no eggs, there's nothing really but oil, water, and a little salt. You can really do whatever you want with it. We're going to move back here to the stove, and we're going to get some things grilling. And we got a nice hot, so we have a nice hot cast iron skillet.
You can see how
if you don't have a cast iron skillet, we'll take that off so that it doesn't smoke too much. We don't want to get the fire alarms going off. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, any nonstick skillet will do, kind of heavy bottomed. You want something that's going to hold the heat kind of well. So, but any skillet that you have will do. And remember, there's plenty of oil in this dough here.
Okay.
And we're just going to take this flatbread and we're going to put it
right on there.
Right on there. Look at that.
So that's what you mean if you didn't want to roll it out.
Right. You could just kind of.
This is also something for mom and dad to do.
Right. Don't let your kids put their hands in there. And I have this grill pan getting nice and hot here. Don't do that if you're not experienced.
To put any oil or anything on these?
No, again, you could put a little bit of oil, but we're just going to kind of kiss them a little bit with the grill marks. So we don't need too much oil or anything on those. So we're going to let those go.
What is the grilling going to do to the peaches?
It's going to caramelize the peaches. So it's going to bring out a lot of those sugars, and it's going to just make those peaches even a little bit sweeter than they already are. So you can smell this flatbread already. Whoops.
Maybe we turned a little too soon.
Maybe we turned it a little too soon, but that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay. That's what happens when we cook. So
Seeing some folks on from New York City. Apparently your fan club is far and wide.
Wow. New York City. Hello, New York City. You know, I grew up in New York, just north of New York City, but I did grow up in New York. You know, actually, I'm using the wrong tool to flip this. I shouldn't be using a spatula, any tongs. I really should be using something more like this, a little fish spatula, or this, or you could use a pancake spatula, or you could even use like a spatula that you would use in baking. And we have some over there, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what we're looking for. And you want to keep turning these because you don't want them to burn. And of course, it looks a little bit messy because it folded over and I turned it a little too soon. But it does. It smells really good. And we can take a little look at these peaches. We can hear them. right? They're
Take a
starting
look.
to get those, they're going to start getting those grill marks on them.
What other kinds of fruits could you do with this?
You could do plums with this if you wanted to. We're going to add some blueberries and some strawberries to this as well. You can do raspberries.
People eat pineapple on their pizza anyway. So
Yeah, you could do pineapple. Yeah, and if you wanted to do the savory, you know, we were talking about doing this as a savory dish, right? If you wanted to add a little pizza sauce to this and some cheese and then finish baking it off in the oven, you could do that as well. Some grilled mushrooms would be great on this, grilled eggplant. There are so many things that we could do with this.
Could be leftovers on part 2.
Absolutely. Look how nice and brown that's getting. That's what we're looking for, right? We want, just ignore that piece, but that's why I'm saying we want to turn this constantly because we don't want it to burn.
And it's not sticking at all. So
And it's not
we
sticking at all.
Good job there.
So let's see how these are doing. Look at that. Those are getting nice.
So far, up to now, this is a vegan dish.
This is a vegan dish.
It could be gluten-free, but and we already talked about that. Great.
Any other questions?
We have some questions about a pancake griddle. So if they have a pancake griddle, could they use that?
Yes, absolutely. That would be perfect. Actually, the other side of this is a pancake griddle. And we could use that. Now, look at that. That's what we're looking for on these flatbreads, right? So now it's still a little raw in the center. You can see that. And
Can you tell us?
you can kind of see a little bit over here, right?
I don't
So,
want to get too close. So maybe
yeah.
I'll take your word.
You can kind of see underneath it's still a little bit raw, so we're still going to keep cooking it.
Can you do this on the actual grill?
Sure, you could do this on the actual grill. I would be a little careful on the actual grill to make sure that you weren't using the part that's raised like that, but if you have a flat side on the grill, I would use that. So these are almost done. Let's take a look at these peaches here. Look at that. Those are beautiful.
Look at that. Ooh, yeah, that looks great.
Look at that. Okay, a little nice and warm. You can smell how sweet those peaches are getting.
All right. Well, we're always talking about smell of those which,
look at that. Beautiful grill marks on those.
Yeah.
So we're going to get those off here. We'll just let those cool a little bit on the side. And let's get this off.
Okay, so we have another question.
Oh.
Should you okay?
Yep, I just set our towel on fire, but that's okay. Okay, now this is done. So we're going to bring this over here.
All right.
We'll move that over. Okay, go ahead.
So we had a question about egg, that often egg is used in a dough, but this is eggless.
Yeah, so eggs are often used to bind the dough together. This really doesn't need it. It has the oil, and it's really easy and simple to do. So look at how beautiful these peaches are, right?
Summer fruit.
Yeah, actually, I might do another one of these. Should we do another one of these, and so that we can just kind of show like 2 different types of toppings?
So quick. What did that cook? Maybe 10 minutes?
Yeah. So I'm just gonna flatten this out, right? And I'm just gonna. This one's gonna be a smaller one. But we'll just flatten this out like that.
Okay.
And the pan is still hot, so
right.
we're good.
Hold the camera and watch this at the same time. So that's gonna be
Well,
your job.
Well, you're good. You don't have to worry about that. So we have this beautiful grilled peach, and we're just going to cut it in half. And it's going to be so nice and soft and tender. So we've got little quarters of this grilled peach here.
Or
Right?
even thinner, maybe.
You could do them thinner if you want. Let's do them thinner. There we go.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Nice and thin. Right? Just like that.
You can see how juicy it is.
Yeah.
You can see the juice just kind of
Yeah.
right out.
So warming these up, especially if they're not ripe yet, right? They're going to give you some really, really nice, sweet, juicy pieces.
Any other questions out there? Ooh, Nutella would be good with this.
Nutella would be delicious.
Would be delicious. Oh, we do have a question about whether this could freeze, like the dough could freeze.
You know, I've never frozen this dough, so I want to be honest with you. I don't know if you could freeze it or not. But you could try and see. But you could certainly make the dough a little bit ahead of time. And so that's
like a good day ahead of time. No?
a few hours ahead of time at most.
We've got blueberries. We've got the
So we got blueberries, we got those grilled peaches. We can put a little fresh mint on this or basil. This is fresh basil out of our garden from earlier today.
Mandy says, "Yum! This looks so good."
Come on over, Mandy.
Yeah.
We got some fresh basil, maybe a little bit of goat cheese
Cheese.
on top of this as
That's
well,
interesting.
right?
And
So
what other kind of, yeah, because on a savory, would you use a traditional mozzarella?
you could, sure. You know, again, we always say, what I'm giving you is your palate. Make it what you like, make it what you enjoy. These are all dishes that you can make your own without, look how fast this came together. This one's ready. Because it was a little smaller, right? But make these dishes your own, things that you like. I like this combination of the peaches and the blueberries and the goat cheese. And you know what I'm going to do? I got a little bit of balsamic vinegar. So we got a little bit of balsamic that we can.
And this is the fancy stuff that we got from Trader Joe's.
So we got a little bit of that balsamic on top of that one, right? So that's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I think your kids would love this. It smells really good.
We got Brevard County calling in from. Hello, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Good to have you on tonight. So this one, maybe we'll do some strawberries on this one. Let's do some strawberries. So just slice up the berries, kind of give them a nice little slice, maybe overlap them like this a little bit. No, we don't want to grill the berries. But like you said, if we had pineapple, right, we could grill up the pineapple.
That's a great idea for even if you're not doing the breads for a summer dessert.
Yeah.
Fruit.
Look at that. That one's gorgeous also.
Really cute.
And you know what? This one, we'll do the mint. We have a little fresh mint from the garden on this one.
Y'all are making me so hungry.
And we could, you know what we could do with this? We could also put blueberries. We could put raspberries with this. But so these are like.
And then a little. I see you've got honey right here.
How much more summer? How much more summer could we get? Right. So a little bit of honey on this one.
And such a fun way to engage the kids.
Yeah, and I would, you know, if it was me, and it was, you know, if we had younger kids, I think even a 20-year-old like we have would enjoy this. But you can make like a flatbread bar, right? So you could make the flatbreads, have them on a plate, and then have all your little toppings: the Nutella, the honey, the balsamic, the fresh cheese, the herbs.
And then they go through a second time and get the.
Right. Maybe I'd put a little bit of cinnamon on with the strawberries as well, just to kind of brighten it up a little bit. But these are two great little dishes, and you can see they don't have to be perfect, right? They're very artisan. They don't have to be perfectly round. This one's a little smaller. This one's a little bigger. Have fun with it. Let your kids have a good time. When you're done.
And if it doesn't turn out, that's okay.
When you're done, you're going to cut into it, right? And we're going to take a little bit of a bite. It's incredible. The basil, the strawberries, it's just incredible. Same with this one. It's going to be gorgeous. I'll just cut off a little end here.
Okay, we have a request for you to mail some. I think that might. I'm not sure that would survive.
I don't think these would stay if I mailed them.
We are happy to give you the recipe.
Remember, we have the recipe on our website. This is my favorite. I love this. I love the
He
peaches.
likes the peaches. That's his numero.
I love the peaches, the blueberry, goat cheese, the balsamic. I love that. Strawberries are great. Blueberries are great. Anything you want to do. Make this your own. Enjoy it. It's a great, fun way to cook with your family, cook with your kids. It's a great, fun way to have your friends over. Make these in advance. Like I said, put that bar out and, just have a good time with it. That's what cooking is all about for your family. That's what having fun in the kitchen is all about. This is real good food. Any other questions?
Well, I think that we have covered a lot of bases so far today, but we do have to continue to get some requests for us shipping and dropping.
I wish I could, but again, we'll pop that recipe up on the screen one last time for everybody. You can find the recipe at ymcacf.org /recipes. It's under our Healthy Living tab. And it's simple, easy ingredients. Enjoy it, make it your own. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Enjoy the rest of your summer. We will see you next month, the fourth Wednesday of every month, as we always are here. We have some special guests who will be with us on that one as well. Not sure what we're cooking yet, but we're going to figure that out in the next couple of weeks. So have a great night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again soon. Bye now.